Okay, so this is a test. Hi everybody, the Real Ducky here, and I wanted to see how well this machine that I'm using would stream. A lot of you have been really curious about, well, this build right here, my new Magic Kingdom. I decided that, well, I've got the free time and I've got the ability, so why not start over and create it from scratch by myself alone, just like I did when I first started all this. I was the originator of the genre. There were no theme park servers before I had started mine. And so, I want to see if, well, there were a lot of people that doubted I have the ability to build. And, well, as you can see, I don't think I've done too badly. For instance, I've been creating some of these 3D items here. Other things I'm doing are, well, like you see, there's a little bit of a hitbox there. I don't know if I can get rid of that yet. I'm working on that. But as you see, I can do actual trash cans now versus... So here's my goal. My goal is to move away from plugin based Minecraft server and build this so that it is 100% vanilla. So that it can still be, utilized. You can still go on rides. You can still see shows. And everything is based on the vanilla software, so probably a lot of command blocks and so on. I want this to be available to everybody, basically. I don't want them to have to be limited to just the plugins that we were required to have on MC Magic. So obviously I'm not looking at making this an open server for the public. Unfortunately, I'm kind of contractually obligated not to, even though I did start the genre. I'm kind of locked out of it for now. Long story I'm not going to get into out of respect for the contract. So it does give me time, though, like I said, to start this, to build it from scratch, to create it as one-to-one as possible, given the limitations of Minecraft, obviously. Again, though, this is a test stream. I'm kind of seeing if I'm getting good frames per second. I'll be going back to the stream later to see if there's any lag issues. Make sure that you guys are, well, interested in doing this too, like actually following along as I build all this. Yeah, let's fly around, shall we? So as you see, I haven't built the monorail station yet. I've started on some of the layout of it. But yeah, that's my derp. I just wanted to build it in so I had like something. I'm actually going to build the engine and train in 3D models that you can still ride in. Same will go for the monorail. Boy, that's going to be fun to put that on the track up there. Anyway, so this is just kind of a derp to put together something so that it fills in the space and gives me an idea. There's going to be a lot of changes. This is not the 100% map. So even this build here, the train station, eventually I'm probably going to change a bunch of this. Even though it is, it's more one-to-one than any that I had created previously. It still is going to require a lot of, well, there's a lot of tweaking, by the way. Just ignore my torches for now. Those were going to be my torches. I'm not quite positive on that anymore, and they may be 3D items later. Anyway, so yeah, I little things like this area here. It feels a little cramped. This is where the stroller rentals are, and this is the desk that goes there. But a cast member that stands here is not this close to the wall, just to give an example. Yeah, that's my old cash register that I made on the old MC Magic server. So yeah, there's going to be some changes. For instance, I think also there's a little bit of a weirdness here when going up these stairs into this entrance here. I think maybe this wall needs to be pushed back. I'm not sure. I thought I had everything measured out pretty well. But again, I think one of the benefits of rebuilding is something like this room here, where none of this was really completed. The flooring wasn't done appropriately, and it just didn't have that one-to-one feel before. Now this almost feels cavernous like the real thing does. Even though, as you notice, it's only technically 5 to 7 wide. So 5 wide if you go from this block to that block. But technically 7 wide at the most. 7 wide, so yeah, 7 meters in real life. But even in Minecraft, for a room this, only 5 wide, technically, to feel this large is actually I'm pretty impressed with my own self. Let's just say that. Anyway, so there are a lot of things that are going to change. I think obviously this texture down here, I'm probably going to. This is more of a tiled texture with grout in between versus just having the square tile like that. I want to change that. I love my bars here. I've started to do more, and we'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to actually walk over there right now. I'm trying to walk like you would in the real park. I don't want you to, I don't want to fly around too much. There's a lot of detail going on. But by the way, this right here, I had to rebuild this area here probably 5 times. Started with, with different blocks and so on, but as time went on, I would find more and more videos or pictures or images or whatever that kind of gave me the right layout. So essentially what this is a handicap ramp, and I'm still going to have to tweak this because, for instance, they actually come up and go through here and up and around. All this fencing here has got to be recreated in the correct way. I'm getting that detailed about this. I want to be very specific. Like I have to go to the parks and get video just of all of that alone, just where the handicapped area is for people, because I want those that are differently able to be able to come on the server and be like, holy crap, he went to that amount of detail. Yes, I did. But anyway, so this is the normally the ramp for people on wheelchairs or scooters to be able to come down, and then this is the stairwell that the cast members come down when they used to do the show in the morning, and then Mickey and everybody would say hi here and then walk back through this gate and then back through that entrance or to the backstage there. So anyway, so there's a lot to do. This room here, for instance, just the entryway alone. So this is one of the more important parts too. When you go through here and then you get outside of this into Main Street and it opens up like that, I want that to be more realistic. Right now it's just kind of flat and boring, as you can see. So again, all of this is going to have to change. There's going to be a lot more detail. The building here, so we've got the Chamber of Commerce here, which I just completed yesterday. And then this is the City Hall building, which I completed today. When I say completed, they're very minimal. Interiors are not done yet, as you can see. As well as, like, for instance, on this one, on the side of the building, there are windows and stuff that go along here that I haven't done yet. But this texture, for instance, this is new. And this is one of the things I hope to show you guys how I do it all in the future. So this is the real brick on the real building. And it took a while to get the pattern to go perfectly like that. As a good example is right there. So as you can see, that took a while to perfect today. Finding the texture alone, because this building was redone just this past year. These planters didn't exist up until recently. This was all stairwell from there to there originally. So now these planters exist as of 2017. I think it was in January they opened that up. Might have been as far as March. So that's the kind of stuff that I have to watch now, because when I created the Magic Kingdom originally, none of that existed. So I had to look that up and make sure that I didn't get it wrong. And I haven't been to the parks in a while either, so I'm kind of in a bad shape when it comes to recent changes. So I have to go soon, have it scheduled to go in the next couple weeks. We'll see what happens. Different things that I'm working on too. I'm raising the pixels for each of the textures. As you can see, this is a pretty well-detailed door, and it's more specific to this building. The goal is to go minimum 128 by 128 on each of the images, although I have gone up to 512 on, for instance, the ground. Nope, not this ground. That's two different. There's 2 different blocks for the ground because I wanted to do some different details. Actually, I'll show you why. So if you look here, you can almost, let me F1. So as you see the ground there, that's super detailed. That's the actual ground at the Walt Disney World Resort. And the amount of editing in Photoshop I had to do, you can't even see the separation of the blocks without the F1 key on. So let me F1 again. And so that is, the fact that I got that pattern to work so well is, I'm really happy, because I had wanted to perfect the ground slash color for that for so many years, and now I have the actual ground from the Magic Kingdom. And as a matter of fact, this is throughout pretty much all the parks. So Epcot, the walkways are this color as well, so it all fits together. But the reason that I did 2 different colors is in real images of the parks, like, because over time they've had to patch up things or whatever else, like this is real right here. the two different colors right here, actually this might even be three. No, that is the two. So yeah, the color differentiation right there actually exists in real life, so I wanted to do that. And then of course the gutters that go down, and so I gave a little bit of a darkness next to those. But yeah, so I'm being very specific about this resource pack, very specific about the build. I mean, the fact that going back over there, those two gutters nobody would have thought of before, and I've added those. There's another one I think over here. Yep. So there's a gutter there, or a storm drain, shall we call it. There's a storm drain here, which is right in front of the Kodak spot. There's one over here that I haven't put in yet. But yeah, I'm going that much detail. I'm going a little bit crazy. So this is an interesting block. This, if I take it in my hand, as you can see now, it's a grass path. So what I did is I went into 3D editing and actually just, first I changed the texture to concrete, and then I changed it so instead of going down a couple of pixels, it goes up like about 5 from the normal. And so then it gives you this, instead of, well, I'll give you an example. I didn't want that, because putting that around the trees, it's just too high comparatively. That should be like the side of a walkway, instead of just, you know, the things that are around. Well, see, I can't do them here because it'll turn to dirt here, for instance. And then we have to perfect this block, which this is right now the light gray terracotta. And so in other words, if I do that, then I do that, see, they go in directions. And so it can only be set in one direction. But I wanted to have this octagonal shape, and then eventually I'm going to try to randomize these blocks so that each of them has a different character on it, because in the real parks, all of these blocks have either the Mickey ears on them. The majority of them have Mickey ears. The rest of them have marriage, like, so they'll have two rings together. They're just different ones, and I want that to be randomized as well later. That's why they're also not very high resolution right now, especially compared to, again, this. If you go back over to this, you can see the differentiation there, so that's going to have to be fixed. Yeah, a lot of little details. I'm loving my pass holder and guest entrance signs now compared to the old ones, which are pretty much grayed out. That took a while to find the right green, because Minecraft is kind of a pain when it comes to creating maps, the colors correctly and mapping when you're taking it from a direct image. Again, all of this, if this stream works and I do this again in the future, you guys will get to see how I create all of those images from scratch. And then of course, like for instance over here, so when you originally place it, it was down like that, so I have to do a lot of that. And then of course you have to measure it so that it is exactly the same size as a block underneath, because I don't want there to be any differentiation between the two. This is another item that I'm debating now that if I like it or not still. So these are the real tiles from the real building and the real color, but I'm not happy with the resolution of that. I want to find like a really high res, like 4K whatever picture of the tiles on that roof with that color. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do here, guys. I mean, this is a ton of work. Those plants, yeah, the flowers, those will be changed later. By the way, I don't know if you like my flowers. I've been working very hard on getting really high quality flowers and foliage. There's my sponge. Yes, Mickey is a sponge and coarse dirt, but that's, again, a temporary thing, at least so it's there. Yeah, I really like the high quality. So these are the same, basically it's the same image of the old lockers that we had on MC Magic, but done in high res. So they're more like I think they're 128 right now. I made them a lot larger, and of course, you know, this is way more realistic in comparison. All this has to be changed. So yeah, the trash cans, I was inspired by Gamer KM, because he had created trash cans in on his server, Haxel Sticks, which is a recreation. To be honest, Gamer KM is really a lot of the inspiration behind a lot of this. A lot of people gave him a lot of junk, nonsense crap. I'll just say crap. Look, if he's getting money donated to him and he buys hardware like a keyboard, why are people coming down on him like he's some kind of a jerk? That's absolutely a business purchase, because it absolutely is something he uses on the server. He's creating these 3D objects, these amazing videos, these really great effects, you know, and having a nicer keyboard that can make that job easier absolutely makes 100% sense. Anyway, so GamerCam kind of inspired me to get back into this. When I saw some of the impressive things that he was doing, whether it be the ride mechanics, or, although he's doing it in a different way. I think he's using a plug-in for his trash cans. He's also using a lot more armor stands, which I haven't gotten into yet, for his trash cans. I went with that, but he's done some really amazing stuff. I'm just impressed. I'm really impressed. So he kind of got me motivated to get back into this again. I'd kind of stayed away from the community for a little while after selling MC Magic, just because I wanted to give space to those that wanted to show that they could, take my old work and make it, well, better, I guess, or try to improve on it, or whatever they said they were going to do. And giving them that space meant kind of staying out of the community, but also just I had to focus on me for a while. My good friend Ant Venom kind of made me make him a promise that I would focus on my life again. Anyway, enough of the personal, back to the Disney. So again, this was completed earlier today, and it's so 1-to-1 on width and scale, mostly. I think I got the height wrong, and that's one of those things that's kind of difficult to really get right. So one of the things that I did today was, when I was looking at pictures, most people are just under 2 blocks high. So let's see if I can find one of those pictures right now. Go to desktop. There's so many images on my desktop right now. Let's see. And there, that's a good one, I think. Right, so as you see, technically the doors are 3 blocks high. If you wanted to take a person, like right there, and judge them as about 2 blocks high, a door is almost 3 blocks high. That alone, tells me that I've got some weirdness to work with here. But then, of course, then you go up a little bit more, and let's say let's even stretch it like that from the top of that head until the bottom of this, or the top of the frame here, all the way from there to there. Those are 2 different lengths, but I'm still going to only count that as, let's say that's the 4th block. This would be this edging, and this edging here would be the 5th block. Well, now if we go here, as you can see, I did get that height right, but it still doesn't look or feel right to me. And then all the way up to there. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to, fully get. I'm trying. Oh, so there's actually a good thing as well. You want to see. Let's go to my downloads folder. And yeah, see, I just installed OBS again. So under my New Disney, which, by the way, this folder is how old now? It was created on November 14th. So since the 14th, I've now have 4,063 items in this folder at 1.61 gigs, just from the 14th of creating this folder and starting it. But what I was going to show you is I found 2 amazing flickers. I don't want to go through this one because this is all the different parks and DHS and whatever. I want to just go to this one. This one has some really amazing stuff. So for those of you that have never seen these before, I do actually technically have the height. So what I did today was I took all of these measurements here, added them up, and then went over to, well, I don't have it open right now, but I basically just used Google and did a used the tool for feet to meters, converted that, and because that's all in feet there. So we've got 12 at the bottom here. We'll just circle with the mouse. That's 12 feet, 8 inches, and 3/8. So that's 8 and 3/8 inches. So 12 feet, 8 and 3/8 inches. Then you got 10 feet, 10 inches, 7 feet, 4 inches, and so on, leading all the way to the top. I'm 2 blocks higher than I should be, only because that flagpole right there, and if you notice, I don't have the dimensions of the flagpole right there. So yeah, so that the flagpole kind of cuts off right at that 3-foot mark. So I figured that was another 6 feet, 3 to 6 feet, I don't know, because if you look from there to there is supposed to be, or from there to there is supposed to be 3 feet. So I figured that's another 3, and then 6, and then 9. So yeah, another 2 blocks. I don't know. Again, I'm being very specific about it, but so this is the kind of thing I have. Let's see if we've got another one here. This one is the interior of, is this the Floridian? No, the Emporium. So I have pretty much everything interior-wise with only a few exteriors. This is the What you're looking at here on the left, right here, let me go back to getting my mouse out. This over here is the Chamber of Commerce, which you see over here in the left in the Minecraft window. And then this is the fire station. But notice something missing. You've got all these lines, but you don't have the heights. This I did get a height for based upon the City Hall slash also the, what do you call it, the railroad station. Believe it or not, I utilized, that's why I say that it's not going to be 100% correct on that building. But I utilized videos of the train as it left the station, and as it was going by, I literally used this wall and so on to gauge what I could see of the building to know if I had heights right. And that's why, like, those brown awnings that go over the windows, if I'm here, they look like they're barely visible, and then if I'm here and so on. So I have to judge. I have to judge on some things. Again, I am not even sure I'm going to do a lot of streaming. I'm going to try to. I think it's interesting for some people because they want to see the process. So let's actually get a view of something else. Combined with a map that we had previously had on MC Magic that had measured out a lot of the things for the Magic Kingdom, along with, I have a tool, a Java tool that I've already utilized for measurement, along with overlays. So what I did is I took going back over to, it was over here, going back over to stuff like this, and I would take that, I took that overlay, and then I would lay it into MC Edit, which is an editing program for Minecraft maps, laying that over to get as close to one-to-one as possible. And then, of course, on top of all of that is making sure that it all lined up correctly with Google Maps. So I would take a picture from Google Maps or aerial photos that I'd found which were straight down, which there's very few of, by the way. There's a lot of ones that are taken at like an angle. So like if you're up in a plane and you're looking this way. But the ones that are straight up and down, those are the really good ones because you can get a good idea of where everything is placed. So anyway, taking stuff like this, laying it over that, and then basically laying down some of these blocks helped me to get as one-to-one as possible. Honestly, knowing that I had helped and we had built the Magic Kingdom on MC Magic in 2013, a lot fewer of these blocks were available back then, but also the tools available, and some of these blueprints. And now we had a lot of these blueprints. We had N Film, I think was his name. He was really great about sharing them with us. We'd contact him and he'd be like, yeah, I have that one. But now there's way more of them available, so I can kind of combine all of them to really get kind of a synopsis of what I'm really looking for: size, dimension, layout, and so on. Again, to the resource pack. Oh, and by the way, I didn't even think about that. Oh, hi Ducky, glad to see you're doing Minecraft Disney builds. Thanks, Fourtails. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing chat. Going back to the resource pack, so my goal again is realism. I don't like cartoony looking stuff. I'm not into the whole like Mario 8-bit look, especially when I'm building within Minecraft. I'm going to be going for a lot of like this. So this is a direct image I took from, actually the image that I got that from is being used over here. So the image was taken right here. Basically the block is from right around here. So this block right here is photoreal. It's taken from a real photo of a photograph that I had taken of me standing in front of this, and it was just to the left of me right there. So like if you look at real pictures and you look at that pattern, you'll be able to actually kind of match it up with the real thing in the parks. However, there's going to be a little bit of change there because you can see, actually kind of see it there. That little schmutz right there, right where my mouse is now, where the aimer is. That's kind of my editing to kind of like make everything blend well. So it'll look a little bit different, but the core of this block, for instance, is going to be the same. It's just funny. But yeah, so I'm taking real images and converting them into actual blocks. Originally, years ago, this block was an actual picture of the bricks on the castle. But as you can see, I mean, look how low resolution that is. I'd have to get a whole new one. And that's what I'm eventually going to do. Let's see. Oh, another thing. We were going to talk about that earlier, the fences. So this is technically, and let me go ahead and grab it and you'll see, magenta stained glass. I don't utilize that a lot. I'm sure of it. I'm positive of it within the game. So I'm not losing anything by changing the texture to this. So now I have, throughout the parks, there's basically three different railings that go around. You've got the white ones, you've got the green ones, which are the majority, and then of course you have the iron fence, which I may end up changing because I don't like how the top texture fits right there. But this was my original texture in my old MC Magic one. I'm probably going to change this silver one, like these here, to be more like these two. How it has that kind of like roundish pole feel to it. You know, this one as well. This one not quite, it needs to add more shadow. I'm going to have to work on that one texture-wise. Alright, and hi Jester, been a while. I like some familiar names over here. I'm curious, how are you guys finding the stream? Were you just getting notified or stalking me? LOL. So the next thing I'm going to work on, by the way, and while you guys are hopefully answering that question, is going to be the fire station here, as well as building what should have been Walt's home up here. Actually, it would be, yeah, I guess it is. I need to get the height of this building correct. I'm subbed and it caught my eye, says Fourtails95. Good. Keep subbed because I like. If you guys enjoy this, and actually, you know what you could help me out with. I'm not watching it. I'm keeping my browser closed because my CPU is like through the roof right now. Let me know if the stream is skipping, if there's lag, if there's a lot of pixelization, if my movements cause, like if I do something like that, does it cause you guys a lot of problems when it comes to viewing? All of that's going to help me decide whether or not this is going to be a more consistent thing. So anyway, I was saying this is going to be the fire station. Also, I have to do a lot of. Apparently, this was all renovated, and I haven't been here since it was renovated. But originally, this was bathrooms back here, and as well, a little thing that nobody knew. One of the oldest items in the Magic Kingdom Park was right here on the wall between the two bathrooms, and that was, of all things, the water fountain that used to be on the wall there. My understanding is that has now been removed. Which is sad because it literally was one of the last like remnants of the original park. Granted, there's many other little things around there, but I just think of all the weird things that I always noticed was that original water fountain that I'd always drank from as a kid was still there for so many years, even after all the changes. Because up and down Main Street, well, give you an example, the brick pattern that's on this building now on the City Hall building wasn't that. It was just a solid color, or this kind of brownish, whatever you want to call it, that was a white with different dark brown features before. Like this, all these buildings and some of the exteriors have changed. And again, like I said earlier, these flower areas here, planter areas, those didn't exist until January to March of this year. A lot of things have changed over the years. A lot of things have been either updated or improved upon. So yeah, it's kind of difficult right now for me to be able to complete something like this until I go back to the park again, which I'm hoping again is soon. So far they haven't noticed any lag. Awesome. That's good. Yeah, there's something right there. So back in the day, the old MC Magic lights used to be pretty much like this, which is monstrously huge. But it's amazing to me that just by having... No, I want that. I'm trying to pick that. Just by taking these, which are considered... So if you've ever been on Fresh Coal's site to get heads, this is literally a marshmallow. But I figured, you know what, it looked close enough to a light, and it actually has a round look to it, so I liked it. That, to me, looks so much better than the old lights we used to create. Plus, for some reason, we were building them one block lower. So they were kind of like you were hitting your head on that as you went by. And then there's going to be an argument about the fact that I'm using a different color on the posts for these. They are a different color at the train station. So, nah, you can just be quiet because they are. There's so many of them, though, and so, again, putting those smaller lights on there, even though these all do exist in real life, it just looks so much better than having all of them be like the center light right there. which is the beacon, by the way, which I created that 3D back in the MC Magic days. Again, this is something I'm going to have to change. I'll probably remove the cap that we have on here and make this more of a round light like those. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be getting into a whole bunch of 3D stuff. So, like I said, the trash can right there, as well as these Magic Band scanners, all of these are my own creation recently. So I've just started getting back into 3D again. I'm using Crayfish's editor for creating them, which makes it so much easier. It's just super simple. I don't have to get into like a 3D program. I can just use his editor and create massive things from there. I'm going to create the train, the monorail, all of that. And again, going back to what I said earlier, GamerKM really did motivate me to do a lot of this, so I want to thank him. I'm hoping he remains in the community because his innovations can really push the community forward again. That's the kind of level that this community needs now. The 3D stuff he was doing was one thing, and it was really amazing. Like, you know, sitting there watching, I think one of the first times I watched him was when he was doing the Main Street Electrical Parade drum, which was the bigger, you know, the very first float in the parade. And then from there, I just went on his server. So it wasn't just 3D that he was doing, though. A lot of the things that he was doing that really impressed me were the ride mechanics. If you've ever been on his server, Haxel Sticks, it's kind of going defunct as of next month, but unless we can get him come back. Something simple like the Buzz Lightyear ride. He was able to create the ability for you to hold a laser gun in your hand, for it to shoot a visible laser in front of you, and for it to be able to be aimed and hit a target, and for the target to change color when you did hit it. I mean, all of the things combined. We had something similar at Toy Story Mania at the Magic Kingdom. His just felt cleaner and like it was more ready to be more innovation. It was just more innovation and more future thinking. I'm hoping, oh my god, I hope, that's something that we can do within vanilla Minecraft. Again, for those that don't know and for those that are late coming into this, yeah, my goal is to build all of this in vanilla and have it work. Nathan, hi. Oh, it's Swagmouse. Hi there. Build looks nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm working on it. Again, I really like my my torches here, but they don't overlap well. Look at that. It's just annoying. Plus a little white outline that also bugs the poop out of me. So, but I figured I was trying to find a pretty universal light that would fit all over the parks. But if I use that, it's not going to fit in like Tomorrowland if I wanted, you know, to put a light up on a wall. So I may have to go something simple like, again, a white globish light, just to be able to use something universal throughout. There are very few things that throw up light. Another one is an end rod like these. So they throw up a low light, and then the lowest light, of course, is the redstone torches. So those will also be some sort of lamp later on. The resource pack, and by the way, I love my realism on my trees. The resource pack is going to be specific to each park, by the way, too. So that's going to be interesting. I'm right now, so like, actually, let me show you something. You guys might get a kick out of this. So if I go over here, oh, and by the way, look at even my concrete. I've got to eventually get all the white lines and stuff. Let me show you that real quick. I actually have that. So if we go to, actually, would it be under my regular box? Oh my goodness, there's so many blocks. There it is. So we take that, and then I can do the lines on the sides like that, or if there's two lanes, I can split the lanes like that. And the fact that I'm using these terracotta blocks means if I need to change direction, I can do it like that too. Same goes for the yellow lines. I've got those in the terracotta as well. My thought is, obviously, eventually, I'll probably use something different in the parks, by the way, because this really isn't something I can utilize in the park over there. But it is something I can utilize. Dun, dun, dun. I go to, oh, we're underground. So the other thing that I used to do back in the day on MC Magic was we built everything on the same map. Well, again, that's the goal here. So I've got contemporary, I have And if I go, let's go in the water. Oh, where'd I go? Yeah, see, I'm like going crazy here with my compass. I don't even know where I'm at right now. Apparently I'm lost. Yep, I'm way lost. I went too far. I have my compass set for like 10,000 blocks, I think, which means I have to clean up my map later because I've got all these lines on the map that go out like into the, yeah, really far. So anyway, so the one-to-one thing. Going across here, I'm going across the lagoon right now, Seven Seas Lagoon. And if we go over here, you will see, ta-da, this is where the TTC would be, and this is the boat launch right here that would take you over there, where the Magic Kingdom is over there. So basically going back to my roots again, is building the park so that the park and all the lands are all in one map. So there's that's leading back to my resource pack thing. I think that might actually be a problem eventually, due to the fact that you can't really switch resource packs in a map that I'm aware of, but that might be a command. I don't think that's a command block thing. I don't think there really is a way to do that with a command block. So yeah, that's it's something I'm looking into. Like I said, I may have to end up splitting the maps in order to have different resource packs for each park. Right now, technically, with the blocks that I'm utilizing here, a lot of these could still, well, maybe not that one as much, but a lot of these blocks could still be utilized in Epcot and so on, but I'm not sure. So the focus right now is the Magic Kingdom, building by building. I'm going to try to do one building a day, or, well, at least one. I'm definitely doing one building at a time. All right, so Jester says he got notified, and people do stalk. I know people stalk me. Dude, totally people stalk me. They're always looking for something that I say wrong. Oh, he's attacking. And then, of course, let's see, got notified. I also got notified. Okay, good on that. Zwag Mouse. And just to re-verify, because we've been going on a little while now, and I'm watching my CPU like spike. Any lag at all on the video? I mean, are you able to follow along just fine? And is my voice fine, and is the audio fine too? While you guys figure that out, see, there's the lamp that I had found earlier, and let me see if I can find, there's the high-res version of it, and there is the image like I was talking about. So I took a direct image of the wall and then found, or kind of cut this out of it, but even that wasn't right. So you can see there's a difference between that image and that image. So like in this image, for instance, if we go, like, you see a little bit of messed up whatever darkness right there and a little bit of darkness there. Well, notice it's not on there. There's none of that there. So I still had to kind of tweak it to how I needed it. Let's see if there's another one here. There's a, yeah, that's the one I eventually did, which you can see all it. This is how much editing I had to do just for one texture. I took my old sandstone carved, which was from my old pack, and then of course went through, and we went, let me see if it'll let me go down with an arrow. I don't think it will now. But yeah, over time, and then tweaking and tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and then of course that. So it eventually led to, that's what I have to do with everything that I'm doing. Every single one of the textures that I've got in the pack. And so if I go to blocks, we got, let's give this, no, let's get this one real quick. Let's see, no, let's quit that. And info, that's what I want. So notice it's 59 kilobytes. Well, that's kind of large, because if I go to Redstone Ore, for instance, that's 264 bytes. So the goal, again, like my old pack, we were able to, and I was actually really impressed with myself on my old pack, we were able to do a resource pack that was smaller than the one that Mojang had, but with higher resolution images. That's my goal again with this. So I want this to be no bigger than maybe, let's say, 6 to 8 megabytes total for everything that I create. And see, there's a couple that I still don't even have my old textures for. But I don't want the, oh, I forgot I had this in here. What is it, hay? I can't remember what that is. concrete powder, but I don't remember what I used that for. Anyway, so yeah, look at some of the doors and like the higher resolution. So that's actually a good one too. So we've got, let's say the top half of the door, jungle door, is right now 50 kilobytes. But the top half of the spruce door, which is still the original texture, is 318 bytes. That 50 kilobytes over time for, as it says right here, 511 different blocks, it adds up and it makes the pack a lot larger. As a matter of fact, let's go arrange by, actually clean up by size. So I don't want to arrange everything yet. It appears this is the largest one right now. 214 kilobytes. That's my pathway, my Magic Kingdom pathway. You can even see the two different. So I've got three different color variations on the pathway, just so that even the pathways themselves will have different color variations so that they look like the real life ones. But those are the largest images I have right now, second only to the still water, and then of course this one that I did earlier. So these aren't optimized yet, and so what I do, let's say actually let's do the torch one, because I don't want to mess with that one yet. So I would take my torch, which right now that's, wow, did I do 512 on that? I think I did. Nope, 256. Okay. So I would save it. On the Mac it's Command Alt Shift S for save, and then it brings up a save for web dialog, and it'll cut down the image to just these base colors so that it doesn't use the full gamut of colors. So it's not a 16 million color picture, it's only a 128 color picture, which is right here. I can actually even probably bring that down. Let me try. Holy, wow, I can actually do that. So I brought it down to 64. What if I bring it down to 32? And the image still looks pretty good. Like it still looks realistic right there. So let's say that's done. We save that. Now let me go back to the image, give you an idea. So right now it's 93 kilobytes, which is massive. So if I save that right now, let's go say torch on. Yep, so it's all saving. Overwrite the file. Okay, so now it's going to save it. Now look at the image size, 10 kilobytes. Now I can still optimize that further and bring it down, because even 10 kilobytes is too much, too high for my taste. But of course that's also because I've got the image at 256 by 256, which only needs to be 128. Anyway, that's kind of how I'm doing every single image in this pack. Actually, that's pretty high too, isn't it? Yeah, so 44 kilobytes. All of these are the, so you can see these are the newest ones that I've done. Well, actually, no, let's do that. Range, clean up by, date modified. So this will show you all of the things that I've modified recently. All of that is within the past few days, basically. Yeah. I like my new storm drains, by the way. So let's go back into the Minecrafts. Another thing you'll notice is, like if I'm out here, mostly I'm done out here. I consider this pretty much finished-ish. There's a lot of little details, like down here, a lot of this foliage is going to have to be done, but they do this seasonally, so I have to find something that is kind of year-round, because I don't want to have to redo it every time. For either Christmas or Thanksgiving or the Halloween Halloween days. I want to make sure that it's universal for everything. So I'm pretty much content with everything out here, and as you notice, there's a lot of details on the ground. So there's color differentiation between the two of these that kind of make them meet this. The gutters and so on. Actually, even the gutter needs the darkness on the top and bottom block later on. The borders on all of these and the differentiation in color there, which all match in real life. Just a lot of small details that are in place. The flowers there, all these pixelators. The right signage that exists now today in real life at the real parks. Basically, I feel like this is relatively done out here. And then when you get in here, the ground is kind of bland and boring. None of the gutters or storm drains are here. None of the differentiation in color. None of the little details. None of the pixelators. So, but I basically want to do building by building. Get this entire front area of Main Street done, and then I'll do all the pixelators, which are, so those of you that don't know what a pixelator is, let me just give you an example. This is a pixelator. Let me just grab that. So it's basically an image file that's created. Ooh, let's do one. You can get to see it. Those of you that have never seen that done before, let's just find an image. Let me see. New tab. Yeah, there's my feet to meters gauge. Let's go to Imager. Hopefully there's nothing rated R on the first page of Imager. Let's just go to my page then, so we can avoid it. And then submitted images. No, we want to just go to my albums. Oh my goodness, go to albums. By the way, that's when I won my Szechuan sauce that everybody hates that I talk about. So Fortail said, still good for me. Everything sounds beautiful. Awesome. Yep, Jester said the same thing. So let's take, there we go. So like there's a pass holder image, or let's do this one because it's a really big image actually. And look, I had to do this like a couple different times till I got it right. So what I do is I take the image and then I copy the address. So I can either copy it, right click it and copy the image address or link address, whatever. Actually copy image address, yep. Or I can open it in a new tab and then you can see the address right here, and notice it is, so that's a PNG image, which means it has transparency, which means it's just round. So I can copy that, then I go in here, pixel, create, and then I paste in, oh, my stupid, because I'm on a Mac, so every now and then it does a weird thing. So let's pixel, create, and then paste. So it created an image number, which is technically map number 297. So I can go pixel give 297, and boom, now I have that image that I just created. So basically that's how easy it is to create each of these images. Now, for instance, this newsstand, I had to create 1, 2, 3, 4 separate images for that. Same with these over here, 4 different images for those signages. But this is one single image. Right there. Oh, wait, no, we grabbed the block, not the, there it is. And so, and I gotta get rid of the background on these maps. It looks so, ugh. So yeah, I can utilize taking images and so on to give it more realism. Also because I really don't want, I didn't want to take, for instance, this block, which is the half quartz. I didn't want to ruin it by putting that image on the side of it. Then I wouldn't be able to use it anywhere else. The same goes for, I could have done it with one of the wood blocks, but all the different colors of wood are going to be utilized within the build, especially. I mean, Main Street alone is so many different colors and so many different buildings that are all classically either wooden or whatever, or different colors. So if I change this wood, for instance, it would also change these fence posts. So all the fences and a lot of other things would be changed just by changing one wood to give me this thing here. So using Pixelator makes it a lot easier. And a lot of folks are like, oh, well, that'll just cause a bunch of lag. We can't do that on our server. Let's just F3 for a minute. Frames per second are fine, and I'm only looking at 132. Now I'm looking at 86, 71. So at the very most, I'm looking at it in 162. Yeah, it looks like 162. See the E up there on the top there on the left? E is entities, which means each of these little images here is an entity because it's in an arm or a frame. So right now I'm looking at 121. So within my view from side to side of the window, there are 122 entities in there right now, and it is not affecting my frames per second at all. You know, moving around is. So let's go right there, and now I'm looking at 2, and then we go over here. I mean, it's not really affecting it. So a lot of those people like to argue it. It looks better, and it doesn't really. It has a minimal effect on your frames per second, but it still looks way better than not having it there. Also, they don't load if you're far enough away from them. So look. Right there, I went from entity 24, 28, 32, boom, to 77 to 113. But once I move this far, they unload from view. And technically, if I'm going into the park, I'm not looking behind me to see them come out anyway. So entities don't always stay loaded either. So if I go out here, notice the entity is now 0. And I'm still moving around. Hey, look at that. My frames per second are still 60, 64. There are no entities in my frame at all, but there are builds in my frame. So that's interesting. I'm looking now. Actually, I never thought about doing this from over here. So there is, okay, let me get back out of there. There, now I'm down to 0 entities. And I've got 58 frames a second, 61 frames a second, 3 chunk updates. Now let's go back out front. Yeah, but you're only one person. If you had like 100 people on the server, it would be different. Nope. Stop. All right, look. Hey, look at that. A little bit of difference, right? It's still about 57, 53, and I've got 125 entities in my view. 58, so it's back up to where it was before. Yeah, it just looks better. I'm sorry, but it does. That looks way better to have those than to not, because somebody might cry over a couple of frames per second. So yeah, I'm going to go a little bit crazy with my pixelators because they need to be here because it makes it look better. It gives it more realism. So haters be haters. I'm going to make it look more realistic. Also, honestly, the big thing that's going to really cut down on my frames per second is going to be my higher resolution textures like these. Those are going to actually have more effect on me than anything else. Because actually, it's going to have more to do with memory though, within the game. It loads them up into memory anyway, so it's going to take more memory away from my game. So it's technically still not even really video. It's just the system memory when I'm running the game. Whenever that pack loads, initially when the client loads. Anyway, the texture on the ground. Oh yeah, hi Rainbow. So we were talking about that earlier, Rainbow. Let me look at it real quick so you can actually. Oh, these are the lower res ones, but the really good ones are out here, which are at the entrance. Let's just look at. We'll go right here so I can get like a full view in the screen. So you can see right there with the square around it. That's the block, and that image is 512 by 512 right now because I haven't optimized it yet. That is a direct image that I took a camera to the Magic Kingdom and I aimed the camera at the ground. It was probably 2 years ago because I wanted to get the ground for, we were building, I want to say we were building New Hollywood Studios at the time. But I wanted to get that color ground because we've never been able to perfect it. And we'd always just had a plain color or we used wool on the ground and it annoyed me. So I wanted a hard block and I wanted to be able to have the real details of the real Magic Kingdom ground. So took a picture of it, had it forever. It was a high resolution. I think it was a 16 megapixel camera I took a picture with. And I just recently, as I was just telling everybody, going back over to here, all of these images, so let's give an example. That's the image right there. See right there? So if I go to here, I created that image on the 12th. So I last edited it on the 17th, but I created it on the 12th. And so just 8 days ago, I went through in Photoshop and created that image. It took a while. So let's go into Photoshop real quick. We'll just drag it in. So a lot of times what you have to watch out for is, and these sides here need to be able to match. So one of the things that I'll do in order to match, now if you look at the image right now, well, all of this matches to the next, like if I was to line these side by side, all these match, right? So what I did is I took the image that was from the Magic Kingdom. So let's say I went and I divided the image. We're actually going to do this live right now. I'll actually show you while it's in the game. So I take that, I copy that, then I take it and I paste it, then I move it over to the left. Oh, wait, I should have done that differently. Sorry. Let me just go ahead and, go back to the original image. I have to unlock this image. You can see the lock right there. Oh, for crying out loud. Why aren't you letting me change it? That is weird. It's not letting me change the image. What the deuce? Let me see if I can't add. Let's see. Let me paste. Okay, now I'm actually confused why this image is not letting me edit it. That's kind of bizarre. Let's try another one. That is hilarious. Why are you being a pain? Why you do this? That's not fun. Okay, so we'll create a new one. So we want to do 512 by 512. And then we'll paste that image, which, remember, so in the last image it was on the right here, right? So now we're moving it to the left here. Now we go back over to that image, and let's get the right-hand side, which, come on, where's the middle? There it is. Boom. Copy that. And now we paste that as its own on the left. Now under normal conditions, I'm even going to mess it up right here a little bit. Let's do that just to kind of mess it up so that they don't match anymore. Alright, and so if I move this over to the left now, of course it's going to show fine. Here, let me move this over a little bit more. I made it so well that it's still blending, for crying out loud. I'm trying to show you how it wouldn't work. Oh, you know what I'll do then? Here, let's move it back. And we'll do adjustment. We'll make it darker, just because. So the first thing I would have to do, obviously, to blend all of those together would be kind of, I use the smudge tool. And so I'll kind of like do this to blend them so that they'll, you know what I mean? Like, and then again, so after blending all of it together, well, obviously I have to kind of search through and, you know, get all the points that don't match colors. So I'll go through like this, and you can see the different colors, and then just kind of give it a large select. So what I'm doing is selecting all of it, and now I can go through image adjustment, brightness, and bring it back up a couple notches. And so that kind of matches the side by side. And then let's get rid of that selection. So that's still not quite where I like it. So I would take what's called the cloning tool, and I would pick an area that has pretty much the most universal look and feel. And now I can take what was down here and literally just paste it right here. Actually, let's put those layers together. Merge visible. Now let's do that. There it is. And you see, I can make that image now one block so that it blends together. There's no more line visible, and if I put these sides together, they're going to look exactly perfect together. And then that's eventually what I would bring back to the other images and then put into the game. So if I want to, I'm actually kind of curious now that I did this. Where's the new, where it is? Yeah. Let's do this. So let's paste that image that we just created, and let's hit save. Now let's go into the game. So we can see that there's no, I'm probably screwed it up, by the way, which is fine. I'll just undo it. But right now there's no differentiation. I can't see the square, but if I get rid of the F1 key, see, there's like, you can't see where the block meets. You can see the pattern, but you don't know where the block meets until you do that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hold down our F3 key and hit the T on the keyboard, and what it does is it reloads the resource pack. So 3, 2, 1, boom. And there we go. So I got lucky right now, even though I recreated that image from scratch again, or not from scratch, but basically recreated that image and darkened it and then lightened it and smeared it together and then used the tool. You still can't quite see the separation now. It took me a while to get it there, to be honest. So there's your square there. I'm actually going to undo what I did here because I like my original one here. So we're going to save that. And again, here let's F3 T with the view still showing. So we're going to go ahead and reload the texture pack. That's what F3 and T does. If you're holding down F3 and hit T, it reloads your texture pack, and there you go. So we're back to the original image that I created. But I have to do that over and over and over again, especially for, well, this block. This was a pain to do. Because originally this separation right here in between, because this is the top of the block, that separation in between was up here originally, and then so I had to move it down to here and then create that lighter portion right here in Photoshop, and then you could see that it's literally just a line. Let me see if I can get to it. Yeah, a line right here. So that's just a straight up line, like a dark line there, but it separates the block and gives it the ability to stack now. But it, all the different things. Well, this is another one. So I showed them that earlier. I think I still have those open. Let me close this window. Go back over here. So this is where this block here. This is the original texture for this building, for the City Hall building. And earlier today, I took an image like this. I found the best repeating pattern, but it wasn't quite right because I had little schmutz right there and so on. But I eventually created it here. And you can see in my list right here, and by the way, I just burped, yes. You can see in my list right here all the different changes I had to make just to that one block to perfect it so that it would fit right within the world. So for basically all these changes you see, that's me hitting F3 and T in the game to make sure that it's right. And that's just for that singular block. So I have to do that over and over again for all these blocks. I think eventually my brick pattern here might get changed again. This brick will probably stay the same. I might even kind of like, this one almost looks like it's off-centered in a weird way, like almost like it's tilted downward to the right. I don't know. I'm going to have to mess with that. Of course, I've got to change my iron fences because that's the old MC Magic one, and my goal is to have every texture in here to be new. I just did the flowers recently. That was another one. So yeah, that's for, like I said, each individual resource item that I have to do. And that's in, let's see, so there are 511 in just the blocks folder. If I go up to textures, we also have entities. And so under entities, I've got chests. And there are 3 items I changed in there. Let's go see those, by the way. So for those of you that haven't seen these yet, these are pretty fun. So that's one of them, which looks like a counter with the cabinets, and you've got like a nice marble top on it or whatever, or the, what is it? Granite top. But see, it's a chest. Then I have, let's see, the other chests, which are, so the regular chest, with instead of being two, so when they're one, they look like this, which again just looks like a wooden chest of some sort, which is good for decor on rides or whatever, or backstage. But if I put one next to it, that's when it turns into that. Then I have the trapped chest. Where the heck is that, or whatever it's called? Oh, oops. Yeah, I used a... Did I? No, wait. I thought I used a different one on that. Wait a minute. What the heck is it called? This is how... Yeah, I'm so lost right now. Trap double. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Oh, ender chest. That's what it was. And so the new ender chest is a locker, which has got really high detail compared to how it used to be. And notice all the particles are missing too because, well, they annoyed me. But so yeah, these are considered entities, and that's so they're not technically blocks because they're interactive like that. They're considered entities. They've also got the Christmas ones, and I still have another trap double. So this is the original texture for the trap double. I haven't even changed that yet. Let's see, what other entities would be stuff. Here would be something I'd probably work on, would be banners. So the base of the banners and so on. Armor stands. Right now, I do have it changed to be kind of like a more flesh look rather than the wooden look that it normally looks like. Just so that I can use that for characters and for cast members throughout the park. What would be another one? I'll probably theme villagers to be cast members too. So the butcher can maybe work in the kitchens. That would be pretty funny. But make use the cast member skin that I had made for us years ago when MC Magic first started, back when it was MC Disney, I think. I'll utilize that for some of these. I may change. Let's see, we've got illagers. We don't use it. I don't want to use any negative ones. Pigs, maybe we can change those to something else. I don't know. But what's projectiles? Yeah, so your spectral arrows, which would probably be used in Frontierland, where you do the where you normally would do the rifle. But yeah, anyway. So you've got 511 regular blocks, which are right here. Then you have, of course, After the blocks, you have effects too, which don't really know, they don't matter. Well, you have the entities, which, let's look at entities. Let's see. That has 305 total. So there you go. So there's 305. So that's 816 items right there that would have to be changed, of which I have changed how many once again? This many. 35. So I've changed 35 of 816 items so far. I have a long way to go. Oh my god. Yeah, I have a really long way to go when it comes to this. That's going to be, yeah, that's going to be fun. But it's going to happen as time goes on. I have a while to create this park, a long while, at least a year, maybe more, or maybe less. We'll see. But I mean, obviously, I'll probably finish this within the year. But then all I'll do after that is start perfecting it and utilizing a lot of tricks with the command blocks and so on. So let's see what the chat is saying. You think it's awesome that you got the sauce. Thank you, Four Tails. And yeah, I was willing to share it. There were the last time I really shared a bunch of it was at the McDonald's near the University of Central Florida. I want to say it was over like 250, 300 people. It was something ridiculous because, obviously, as you guys all heard, McDonald's did not keep the Szechuan sauce in stock. They only gave 20 container or 20 little teeny little things like this size to each individual store throughout the U.S. and only 3 stores per city got them or something like that. So yeah, I shared it with like hundreds of people. I got on PewDiePie's videos twice, and a bunch of people were complaining like, that's all he talks about. Oh my god, it's like he thinks he's famous or something. Oh my god. Yeah, I did talk for a while because it was fun, because I had the creators of Rick and Morty actually retweeting me and talking to me, and I had PewDiePie making videos of me. Yeah, I definitely ran with that, and so what? Suck it. I had enjoyed it. I had a good time. A lot of people had a good time. A lot of people got to try the sauce that never would have had a chance to try it in a million years. Granted, it's coming back next month, by the way, for those of you that don't know, and I don't know what the deal is on like how much they're going to have of it, but yeah, it is coming back. Anyway, so let's see. We've got other comments here. Will the stream be on YouTube after you stream? Yes, it will, Rainbow. I will actually leave this up so you guys can watch it again later on. This is so awkward, and I'm just doing this for the first time. And well, let's see. I haven't worked at MC Magic in a year, a little over a year and a couple weeks, I think it's been now. And even before then, the last thing I really did video-wise was the Inside MC Magic video. And then before that, the last stream I did was like one of our meetings. So it's been a long time. I'm kind of feeling this out again, trying to get used to it again. So yeah, for all those people that watch this video later, it's going to be like, what a confusing mess. And oh my god, all he did was bitch about how people bitch about him. Sorry, language. Anyway. Let's see, what else? Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And oh look, there was me streaming. Which also, let's do Streamception. There it is. Streamception. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so let's see. The other comments were, you think it's awesome, so I watch it back. Yes, you can. How did you do the texture on the ground? We covered. Photoshop, yeah, didn't want me to. Of course, I don't understand that. That's actually bugging the poop out of me. Close that. Don't save. I want to go back to that, actually. No, I'm not even kidding. I want to know why that wouldn't let me edit it. Like, that was so ridiculous. Like, what if I want to edit that in the future? It's not going to let me. Yeah, see, so double click. I am so confused. Is there something wrong with this file? Like, is it... Maybe because it's loaded into the game right? No, it couldn't be that. And it's read and write for me. So why you do this? It's not fair. It's not locked. Photoshop be dumb. I'm going to close it. Don't save. Don't save. Wow, that was slow. Don't save. Wow, that's really lagging out now. Gotta love them window animations that go crazy when you're streaming. Alright, so is this going to be a server when it's done? The goal right now is just for me to have fun. Wow, look at that lag. I'm just going to actually kill the game temporarily and then bring it back up. So the goal is that this is a personal project that I want to do. And right now there's no plan to bring it up as a server. That's not to say it never will be. Right now, it's honestly to prove to myself that I can do it, and also to kind of throw salt in the eye of those who accuse me of not being able to build. I mean, yeah, maybe I shouldn't care, but I do. I do, because I've been doing it for how many years now? I did it alone for how many before that? Anyway. Aha, you didn't get to see the IP. I bet you tried to. Actually, I don't even think it's visible on my menu. I mean, obviously, if I'm making it work, then yeah, I want it to eventually be utilized by the public. That is not to say that I necessarily mean it to be a server. For all I know at this point, once I finish it, I may just hand it out to the world for free. Originally, so the goal, this is kind of like the same thing before. It was like, I was building Disney, and all of a sudden everybody's like, you should make it a server and people should come on. And then people are like, well, I want to help build it. And then people are like, we should do this like the real Disney. And then it just kept exploding from there. Maybe that'll happen with this, but I doubt it, because the Minecraft community is kind of dying off now anyway. I don't know what other game can replace it. I don't know that I would go to any other game right now. I may be one of the last sticklers for this game years from now. Who knows? But honestly, I enjoy it. I still enjoy it. Maybe it's the autism side of me. I don't know. I love being able to. It's my giant box of Legos that I never had as a kid. I had Legos. I just didn't have this big of a box of Legos. And if I could build, if I could build the Magic Kingdom 1-to-1 with Legos, I would have done it. But I don't. So I do it in here. And again, I don't think there's another game that's going to be like this ever in our history. You know, like people will say, "Oh, The Sims." I'm like, yeah, but how many Sim servers you know where everybody can join together and play together like this? How many Sim servers you know where you can get the real audio from Disney and all the other things, you know, the real experiences. So there's no other game right now that can give you this level of immersion. And in a way it stinks because, you know, we're looking at blocks like that. And that's the closest we're going to get to building Disney in a gaming world. But on the other hand, it's great because this community it's amazing. I love everybody in it. And I miss a lot of them too. Yeah, my voice just cracked. Shut up. I'm not crying, you're crying. Alright, let's see. So going on to more chat. Four Tails, keep up the good work. Sadly, he has to go to work. So got to go to bed. And yeah, well, you know, Four Tails, obviously you can come back and check out the video later on when it's up on YouTube. There'll be more. Well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to go, but, you know, keep an eye on the channel. Let's just say everybody should be subscribing. MC Trade, it's been too long. Oh, you guys are catching up again. That's adorable. Yeah, a lot of friends met on MC Magic that are still friends today. In fact, a lot of friends met at MC Magic that are friends in real life today. Some of those people went on to join up, and well, they ran they were all camp counselors together, like Darth Corey and Wild Poppies and all them. They all joined together and did that. Tara, I don't want to give out her last name, and I can't remember her Minecraft name right now because I've literally been talking to her as Tara for so long I forgot her Minecraft name. But Tara, one of the great people on our server, eventually, because of meeting people and because we were able to teach her to go out in the world and meet people, she's literally getting married soon. Like, I'm so excited for people like that. And that all happened because of MC Magic, you know? Like, a lot of that happened because of MC Magic. Those friendships are now for life. There are people I know now that I will know for the rest of my life. Taylor, also known as Ant Venom, absolutely one of the greatest people that I've ever had the privilege of meeting in my life. He's there's no doubt about it, the best friend I have in the world. And one of the biggest, most ardent supporters of MC Magic from the beginning. If it wasn't for him, by the way, we never would have had our panel at Minecon. He helped talk Lydia and the team at Mojang into bringing us on way back in 2012 or whatever it was. So I'm very thankful, and I love our friendship. I get to go up and fly up and see him a lot and stay at his place, and you know, all of these things are things that never would have happened without MC Magic. There are developers that got their start when they were 12 on the server because I gave them their chance, because they wanted to prove themselves, and I believe in people and I believe in giving them a chance to do that That person is now going on to getting a degree in that field of development, as well as jobs that have already paid that person to do. Like, they're getting real paid jobs in real life because of the experience that they had on MC Magic, because somebody gave them a chance and believed in them and took them in, and the entire team embraced them, and everybody was amazing. And so people are getting jobs, people have gotten married or are getting married, people are meeting in real life and dating, people are going to the parks in real life together, all because of a Minecraft server. It's amazing. Yeah, it makes me emotional. It really does, because I miss those friends that no longer want to be friends with me. Let's be honest. It's a shame that they believe all the lies about me, and it breaks my heart, because those are people that I trusted my life and livelihood with, and I miss them dearly. I miss them dearly. So, this is my little piece of this park, building this park here. This is my therapy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm better now than I was originally when all of it happened, which is why it took me a year to start working on this again. This literally, by the way, let's just go back to the fact that this has all been created since the 12th. November 12th or whatever it was. Yeah, wasn't it the 12th? We figured out. Ooh, I forgot about these. So that image is, let's grab that, brown glass. Because who wants to use poop grass anywhere, or glass anywhere? Grass, poop grass. No, poop glass. I didn't want to use poop glass anywhere. There was nowhere I could think that poop glass would work. So I wanted to be able to have these, which are everywhere in the parks too, especially on Main Street once again. So yeah, this is literally half the block though, because I didn't want to have, I just wanted to make it more realism. On the parks as I used to create them, this is all iron fences up here, and it looks horrible comparison now. So like when you're down here and you're looking up at that looks so much more realistic, because it is. Sorry, yeah. I'm gonna lay off on. Let's just say that my complaints a moment ago were personal, that they weren't related to any server specifically. I'm gonna be avoiding any discussions. I won't even be saying the name of that server ever on any of my streams. I'm not in the mood to get into any drama with any of them. I, however, am not going to tell you guys you can't discuss anything in the comments or in the chat on the video. I just may not always comment on those observations, shall we say. You have every right to say them or have your feelings about them. You have every right to hate me, to be honest. Some people do, whatever. So yeah, that's the difference. I'm willing to admit that. Also willing to admit my faults, but that's another story. Anybody have any other questions? Because I'm getting kind of the end here, where I'm going to probably sign off, because I'm not really motivated to build at this point, because it's kind of late at night and I'm going to go to bed soon. I'm an old man and we go to bed early now. So any other questions? Comments, suggestions, requests? Maybe in the future, let me mention this, by the way, for those of you watching later that didn't get a chance to watch the stream. Possibly in the future, when I do streams again, I'm not going to do a lot of this talking and moving around like I'm doing now. Mostly my hope is that the streams are going to be, probably have some music in the background, Disney related, and me being kind of quiet, focused on the task at hand. What you'll see is the process as it happens, in other words, live as it happens. So you'll see me creating the textures for each of these blocks. You'll see me kind of measuring out and getting an idea of height, width, and dimension on each of the buildings. Basically, you'll see the process as it happens from beginning to end on each of these individual buildings. I think if I feel like it tomorrow, and I don't have a lot going on because my roommates are leaving town and I've got some stuff to do, I'll probably work on the fire station, which is a very small build in comparison to those. But you'll get a chance to see, because I may change again this block here. I want this block to be good for the fire station, as well as it will be when I eventually work way over there on the Haunted Mansion. So that block may stay the same, but other blocks I use with this build may not. MC Trade asked me what happens if someone offered you to have your work on their server like a partnership. I'm legally obligated not to. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be involved in any server whatsoever, and that's as much as I'm going to say about that. But yeah, again, that's why I'm doing this on my own. Well, the other thing is with somebody that wants to put this on their server, they're going to want two things. Number one, they're going to want to help, and number two, they're going to want to bring people on. The number one part, no, I'm doing this alone. I'm 100%. This is all me. Nobody has helped me do any of this. So all that belief that, oh, Ducky can't build, they can suck an egg, because I've just proven that I can, and I can build one to one. The other stuff with the people coming on, if I'm creating a map and people are coming on the server, that violates a condition of a contract that I'm currently under, and I can't discuss that further. But yeah, somebody else has already discussed that publicly online, but I'm not going to. Again, I'm not here to deal with all that, but I'll at least be honest with you guys. So yeah, I can't until about a year from now, a little less than a year. Then I'll be able to do stuff like that again, run servers and so on. But honestly, we have to see where Minecraft's going to be in a year. We don't even know that it's still going to be available, or I mean, popular rather. In a year, it could be like 6-year-olds playing, not even like 15-year-olds anymore. Who knows? Anything can happen between now and a year from now. So we'll have to see. But for now, I know that I am going to continue to build this, if not for anything, but for my personal use. Love my trash cans. I'm so proud of them. So for those that didn't see it earlier, see how it says trash can? Oh, let's do this. Always active. So you can see my there's my code. It's literally, that's the trash can. That's how simple it is. So this the code is that it does 0 items up above the third block above where that command block is. So 1, 2, 3, the third block being the trap chest. So if we go back out and I go in there and I drop those in there, see? Drop, drop, drop. Everything just disappears. So it's actually, this, what's funny is this is better than, to me, better than the trash cans on default. So boom, there it is. Now it's done. All my stuff is thrown away just from that. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, oops, we need to, there it goes. Now it's the right way, because I'm using terracottas, so they go in a different direction if I put them down in a different direction. See what I mean? So yeah, I gotta put that back down. These all have to be put down this direction. Let's see, we've got last question. Do you remember me, MC Trade? I do. And apparently Jared does as well. Oh, Jared's username is up above. Oh my god, I forgot what it was. I feel so bad. Where did it go? It's Zwagmouse. That's I literally thought of it right before it scrolled into view. Zwagmouse. ZWAGG. Zwagmouse. Any other comments, questions, suggestions, superlatives, oddities, things, stuff, whatever? Oh, I still got to do the bathrooms over here. See, every time I think I'm done out here, well, I've also got to do the cast member only area behind here, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, because even the seats and everything in here, all the cabinets, all the shelving, all the computers, that's all done. This is where guest services is, on the outside of the parks right here. Oh, and I have to do the signage up here that says guest services. So yeah, I've got a few more things. And I have to do the sign on here for Walt Disney World Transportation on this side, and Magic Kingdom on that side. And then I have to do the signage on this, and then there's that stupid pole that sits all the way down somewhere like here, I think it is, and then it has, like, you know, different posters and whatnot on it. I was Piglet, not the character. I thought Jared was the... Wait, hold on. Oh, I was thinking of Nathan that was Wag. Sorry. Pumpkin Star. Oh my god, I miss Punk. I remember him. He was a he was probably one of the most ornery cast members I ever had, if that's the right one I'm thinking of. Whatever happened to that guy? That's actually a good question. Kind of curious. Do, 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 do. I don't know. Do you guys? So you guys know my old build of Magic Kingdom in 2013, which is that was on MC Magic, the original or the last MK I had when it was MC Magic. And so as you look at that and then you look at this, can you tell the difference? I'm actually kind of curious if you can tell the difference. So those of you in the chat can say now, and those of you in the comments later, let me know what you think after you've seen all this video, because I've taken you around and you've gotten an idea. By the way, you see all the backstage stuff. Everything's going to be built. Everything. I have it all laid out, all the way from here to the castle, and I'm not going there yet. We're going to work our way down as I build. Yeah, that was me yawning. I'm an old man. I get tired early. Whatever. Holy crap, it's broken. So, wait, Punk did CP? Holy crap. I just said crap twice. I just said it 3 times now. Yeah, definitely is going to be a lot better even than it is now. For instance, if you notice, this is a default quartz texture, Jared. Oh, hey, Mike. Wow. This is the default. Like, a lot of these are still default, and then some of them are the old MC Magic resource pack defaults as well. The goal is to, again, going back to before, all 800 and something items that I can think of right now between entities and blocks, 816 entities and blocks, all those have to be changed, and right now I think I've changed, what was it, like 20 maybe? No, it was 30, I think, is what I changed total so far. That's a shame that I didn't know that, Brogan, because I really would have liked to like just kind of run into him at the parks or something. That would have been neat. But whatever, no big deal. I'm sure there'll be another chance. I'm sure he'll go to the parks one day, and maybe I'll just whatever. He probably hates me. Who knows? All right. Nice, MC Trade. Yeah, you should definitely do college program. Everybody that goes through college program has the time of their life. Just be careful. I'm just gonna say be careful. And yeah, just be good. Be good and be careful. Those are the 2 best suggestions I can give you for CP. You're going to have a blast, though. It's easy to get in trouble, though. I'm just going to say that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm keeping this family friendly, and I love Disney. Mike, yeah, you're currently a CM. Are you allowed to, or do you want to say where you're working, or no? CP is amazing. I just wish it wasn't called CP. Let's see, any other comments on there? I keep like, I just realized I'm doing this. I keep doing this. So my chair, like, I'll be like this by the end of the night, like sometimes when I'm working on a build or something, because I slide down in my chair because I forget that I have to have good posture. I have to stand up straight, sit up straight, be a good boy. Let's see, resource pack, come back, alright, Cosmic Rays, nice! Which that is right over, oh look, it is, I don't want to let too much away, but there's some other stuff built over there. So basically, then Mike, you would know, because look, you see the red under there? That's all the utilidors. Oh yeah, so nobody's noticed that before. The red is all the utilidors, or underground stuff, for those that don't know what a utilidor is. And then, yeah, so all the layout is here. I wasn't actually going to show this earlier, but since you said you were raised, I might as well. Whoa, yeah, let's go back up here. That was a really good shot with my compass just now. I actually am impressed with myself that I didn't go too far, like all the way over to the TTC. Yeah, see, I can't. My only problem with working at Disney again after the 90s is the last time I was working there. I have really bad teeth, and one of the requirements of working at the Magic Kingdom is, well, you have to smile at the guests, and I'm not gonna be really that guy that can smile at the guest anyway. When it's a one-man team, you can really hold yourself accountable. Well, that's just it. That's why I won't let anybody else help me with this. Even I mean, that's how my MC Magic started. Let's be honest. I basically started the Magic Kingdom a really, really, really derpy, wrong, not even close to one. Rides weren't even close to realistic version of the Magic Kingdom, and because it was the first time anybody had ever done it, and we were the first server and the first theme park server and everything, people would come on, and eventually I was like, okay, fine, you can help build this if you can prove yourself and whatever. That's what led to MC Magic. So the goal right now, I don't want to go back to that. I'm not ready for that. Sorry about hitting the mic. Speaking of which, there we go. This is all me. I want to finish. I have to, absolutely have to finish the Magic Kingdom 100% on my own. There's not going to be any help whatsoever. Yes, it's on a server right now, but that server is not being shared with anybody, so nobody's going to be logging on. There's one guy that logs on because I have him log in to check my resource pack changes and stuff like that, and to maybe give me advice because he's somebody that has a little bit of knowledge. But that's it. Oh, and Ant Venom. Yeah, well, Ant Venom's another person that might log in. So those are literally the only. But they're never going to build a single block on the server because they actually don't have permissions. They can fly, and that's literally it. That's all they can do when they come on the server. So even my best friend Ant Venom doesn't have build capabilities because this is me, 100%. It's a one-man team, and yeah, I'm sure you do, Rogan. I haven't heard anything. It's been a while since I've seen one of your streams, even, or anything like that. So it's been a minute, as they say. Last time I heard about you I was with Ant Venom. Actually, it was a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. I was with Ant Venom. We were at the Minecon, or was that? No, maybe it was after that. I think you texted him or something saying that, hey, how come you didn't tell me you were in town? We were at Disney, I think, together. So that would have been less than a year then. You're helping build MK on in real life, Mike, since you work there? Or where are you building it? Yeah, that would be pretty funny if they actually had you doing construction at Cosmic Rays. I know they've been working on it. And by the way, I really like to know if they're ever going to bring back the stage that comes out of the floor and the musical act comes up on it, because I missed that from the 70s. Anyway. Let's see. So MC Amusement, I've heard a bit about that, and I think, let me see, I'm on their, am I on their Discord? I guess we'll find out in a minute, I can't remember. So One Big Nation, I wonder if I'm on that one too. Let's see, how many Discords do I have? A whole bunch. Seasons, Thrill, one. Yep, I'm on One Big Nation, MCTP, Dream Kingdom, Cube, Cedar, Venture Ridge, and that's it for Minecraft ones, actually. So I'll have to look into MC Amusement. Did my computer just go crazy on the fan? I just heard something. Yeah, I didn't notice that until just now. Hey, look, there's me. So, let's see. Yeah, stage comes up for the party. Nice. Yeah, but it still has, what's his name on it, doesn't it? The animatronic. Which, back in the 70s, and we used to have, there were like, it was like the Partridge Family and weird stuff like that would come up on the stage doing their 70s disco, not disco, but hippie music or whatever. Like, yeah, it was pretty amazing stuff, though. I miss that. Oh, I see, MC Trade. So kind of like how my former server does now, where you have to verify by logging into the server and then logging into the Discord with like a code or something like that. I like my gravel, even though it's pixelated. I may actually leave it just like that, just because it's just gravel. I'm waiting on some replies in the chat. While you do that, un momento. I just gotta get a drink or something real quick. I've been talking for so long that my mouth is dry. So, let's have a root beer candy. So I'll talk with my mouth full now. rather than dry. No, I haven't always played Minecraft with a Mac, which is the question that MC Trade just asked. For a little while, I used Republic of Gaming laptop that Ant Venom had let me utilize. I've also used Windows 7, Windows 10 machines that I recently just sold. Yeah, but mostly I've been on a Mac though. The only time I usually go to PC is when my Mac is broken, or when it's the only thing available to me at the moment wherever I am. Or Windows, not PC. Because technically a Mac is still a PC. I am exhausted, by the way. It's 11:30. Yeah. This old man doesn't stay up late as much anymore. And if you notice something that also changed from my past, I didn't get up like 30 times to go have a cigarette either. That's something else that Ant Venom has helped me, kind of motivated me to get rid of in my life. I really need to make that sign look better, even though that shine, I love the shine, but you can't really read the text right here and it bugs me. Let's see if I can make it better. That was a nice message, those of you that just saw that. Probably shouldn't have had the chat up, but whatever. Yep. Angry, angry people that like to comment on my stuff because they can't get a life and they like to believe lies. It's awesome. Moving on. And thank you very much, MC Trade. Appreciate that. I'm over here smacking my my root beer candy. I should probably be a little bit more aware of the fact that I have a microphone right next to my face. Do 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 do. Yeah, just ignore it, Jared. Gotta love trolls. Aw, look at the little boy. He thinks he's so cute. Well, let's just go ahead and do that, shall we? And anybody that feels, yeah, let's just go ahead and copy that name, because we're going to look that up later. Anybody that has any information on that, privately send that to me on another medium, preferably email or something else. Yeah, I may end up having to remove that part of the video. Hooray! Thanks, jerk. Nice. And, oh, it's because of Google. Google's actually been... people were actually complaining about Google's emoji faces like that. They didn't like them. They didn't like the way that they look or whatever. I don't know. It's like drama over... People really do. They really find drama in the stupidest things, and emoji faces was one of them. There was literally discussions for days about it. So here's a funny thing, old Mike. Think about this. Let's just stand right here. You're copying this so-and-so server that already has a Magic Kingdom. We can tell because the blocks are exactly the same right where we would have blah blah. Like, if you look at it, yes, they are all going to look similar because they're all based on a real life place. But if you go through them, let's just say we look at walkways like this and count these blocks, or count the position of this thing, or whatever. Obviously, they're not going to be the same. And the same goes for any Disneyland server, or USO server, and so on. People are going to make that claim because they're mad that somebody else is doing it. If you notice, by the way, literally at no time in my entire history of running MC Magic did I ever say I was mad that other people were building Magic Kingdoms or whatever else. There was never a time when I went on Twitter and complained about the fact that there were too many Disney servers. There was never a time that I went and disrespected other people because they were doing the same thing that I was doing. As a matter of fact, I welcomed it, and then that's when I created the partner program to purposely show people that, hey, I love this. I want competition's never a bad thing. Just because we started it doesn't mean I have to get angry that somebody else is doing it. So I was doing a search before. So if you go to, let's see, where is it at? Go to Google. And then we want to, what we want to search for is Disney Minecraft.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help.
Oh, Google, be quiet. That was my Google Home. And so what we'll do is we'll do time, we'll do a custom range, and then we'll do, like, I have to sit here and click going back. Because remember, we started as MC Magic in 2011, but I think it was somewhere around September of 2010 when I first created pieces of the parks. Like the castle was the first thing I built, and then the train station next with a friend. Let's just say, let's go back to 2011. So let's say September 30th will be the last date, and then we'll just go before that for the first date. What we're doing is I want to show you like how many results there were then versus how many there. Well, actually, we want to go to 2009 for that. All right. So, given that, oh, see, it went away. Where did it go? It literally set it for a moment, like up at the top. Let's try it again. See if we can catch it. Okay, 485,000 is what it said. Okay, it shouldn't technically say that because we're doing a search between these dates. So I'm not quite sure why it's showing 485,000 results, because there weren't 485,000 people doing Disney Minecraft in 2000. Oh wait, you know why? No, it is 2011. Yeah. So now let's get rid of these. Let's go to anytime. So let's just say that there were hundreds of results back then. Now there are 21,100,000 results for Disney Minecraft. I should be, like, if I was like anybody else, I'd be like, I can't believe other people are doing this. But no, and by the way, even funnier is that the very first thing for Disney Minecraft is still the MC Magic video created by Zach Scott in 2012. That's hilarious. Anyway, so there were 21 million hits for Disney Minecraft in 2017. There were only in the hundreds when we created MC Magic originally. So I'm happy about that. I want there to be more competition. I want there to be more servers like this. It excites me. I love it. Let's see, by the way. So let's see, Disney Minecraft. So the second thing is Rob Plays, which is MC Magic. Rob Plays, which is MC Magic on the fourth thing. Fifth thing is MC Parks. Congrats, guys. You boosted yourselves up. Business Insider, that was an article done on MC Magic. And then Palace. And then Boing Boing, which is MC Magic. Geek.com, which is MC Magic. Theme Park University, which is MC Magic. Well, yeah, so we're still we're still pretty much all the results on the front page of Disney Minecraft on Google. That's awesome. So let's see. It looks so strange. Let's go to the comments here again. Do you like one-to-one with measurement better than the feeling of one-to-one? Meaning making the park bigger, since one-to-one blocks can actually be fairly small. I would say that, here's what I would say. Looking at these, this is all one-to-one. Everything's laid out. You can see it on the ground. So that's the Emporium. As I stand in front of this, that feels really tall, correct? Because we're utilizing the same building techniques that Disney does, which is the first floor feels taller. Notice, for instance, the windows are 3 tall. Look at the second floor; they're only 2 tall. And then we go up here, and they're kind of like, they're not even, well, because let's see, that's 1 block, 2 block, 3 blocks, 1 block, 2 block, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm using the same technique as Disney that makes it feel gargantuan, even though it's technically one-to-one. So if you're standing in front of it, it actually feels taller than it. So if I just get straight in front of it, you can kind of see how I've changed it up a little bit. But you can still build one-to-one and make it feel big. is basically what your question is, or your comment in a way is that somebody had told me this the other day. They're like, I don't build one-to-one because I don't want it to feel blocky. And I said, you can still build like this. That doesn't technically, yes, it looks like blocks, but it doesn't look blocky, and it doesn't look as derpy as it could. It still has a lot of work that needs to be done to it. And yes, old Mike is correct. Forced perspective is what Disney uses on all their builds. You'll notice it even more if you go to the Disneyland park, because everything there is technically way shorter than it is at the Magic Kingdom in Florida. The forced perspective is even more predominant there because they had so much less. They didn't go as high as they did in Magic Kingdom. Yeah, so like this first floor here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 6 blocks tall. You know, because of how tall that is, and then this one isn't quite as, and yeah. Force perspective will give you the ability to build. Well, again, so this is exactly the same thing here. If we go over here to the train station, you know, my windows and doors, so the doors are up to 3 tall plus that extra block. This is 3 tall for the window. But if we go up here, all the windows are 2 blocks and almost 1 block, or just 2 blocks rather. Again, when you're down here though, that looks way bigger and still looks like it should, like it does in real life. You know, it looks really tall. And it is actually technically, using the blueprints that I have, it is the correct height. But I still, you know, it still could have looked blocky if I didn't build it correctly. Nowadays, barrier blocks. Yeah, the barrier block thing, I'll tell you, Brogan has mentioned the barrier blocks and why that's a problem. So what'll happen, and I'll give you a perfect example. I here, oh, well, not I want to do P because I want to grab it. So what they'll do is they'll have a queue, right? And then they'll have the queue, actually they'll usually be 1 wide. And then of course, they've got twists and turns in the queue, which go like this, let's say. Which is, there's a perfect one because they'll curl in the corner like that. So like if I'm walking through it and like that, so did you notice I hopped over that? Because that corner was up, so I could, you know, if there are barrier blocks there, it's so annoying. Totally with you on this. So if I walk through here, I just got stuck right there, basically. Like, especially if they do them, like let's do one across from here, and then they'll do them all the way along this. I mean, it's just, why am I not seeing them even though I'm holding the block in my hand? That's pretty funny. So I'm stuck in here. Then I have to. Then I'm like stuck. Like I get, yeah. Like it's so ridiculous that I can't walk just straight through something. Let me just get rid of these, by the way. Really? Thank you. Ta-da! Oh, forgot one. I thought I just removed all you jerks. Anyway. Back in my hand again. Oh, because I had particles and stuff turned off. That's why I didn't see my blocks. That's what it was. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, the trying to get through a queue on a ride is ridiculous nowadays on some of the parks. I've been in a few of them. Haxel, I don't know that he really does it that much. Anyway, so it's so they don't have to build it. Yeah. That's not really it. It's not really because they don't want to build anything behind the scenes. What it is they don't want people hopping into like this. Why is this a problem? Why are you mad that people are hopping up here next to a tree? Oh no, they're gonna climb the tree to nowhere because it can literally get nowhere, and they'll have like the barrier blocks all over there. Actually, and technically, I figured this out the other day. So if I run, oh, it was this one. If I run and jump, I actually can get from here over to that. I did it the other day without cheating. Anyway, so you can actually, so like I can parkour up there, but even if I parkour up here, Where am I at? I'm next to the train station. Oh no, I'm going to get on a train. It's whatever will we do now as a server that this kid got on a train. Oh no. Like, yeah, you don't need to have barrier blocks all over your stupid park. It really just did. And you know what? MC Magic always had a rule about that. We liked people parkouring. We wanted them to find it, like issues like that. The only places that we had a problem with it were when we're trying to do a Phantasmic show. Literally, that was it. Other than that, have at it. Jump around. Like, jump off the top of that building if you can get up there. Good for you. You know, like, that's... Why are we trying to take fun away from the guests? Just have fun. You can't do that in the real parks. That was one of the other things I loved about MC Magic. Because I could go, you know, if I go to the real park right now and I dive off here, first of all, I'll get hurt. But second of all, I'd be banned for life from the parks for being an idiot. But at least in here, I'm not going to get damaged and have, like, you know, permanent damage from that. I can have fun with it. I can go and see certain areas, like if I was able to parkour, that I wouldn't see in real life, because we always built backstage areas. That was one of the other things about MC Magic that was different too, is backstage gets built. Look, here's my backstage. You can actually see it. There's literally the outlines for the buildings are ready to go. So even backstage is being built as I go down Main Street. You know, over here, same thing. Those are all the guests or the cast member parking areas, which technically aren't even there anymore. I really have to remove pretty much half of this. But yeah, just build it all. Let the guests see it. Why not? It's not a problem. It's not going to be like, you know, what are they going to do? If you've got protection on your server, what are they going to do? Let's be honest. You know, hopping on something isn't going to damage it. You know, they're not going to crush the flowers by hopping on a flower bed. Let the poor kids have fun. That was always my goal. Again, unless it interfered with the show. That was my only time it bothered me. You know, you're in the middle of a great show, and the fireworks are going off, and the music's great, and all the people are hopping around having a great old time, and you're in there swimming in the water in the middle of the show while we're trying to do it. Absolutely, yes, that was one of the only times I had a problem with it. Which was fine. Didn't have to run away out of them. There was a small Disney server I was on for a bit. It didn't build anything. You couldn't see at normal MC heights, and see it had barrier blocks everywhere. Yep, and again, you know, going back to MC Magic, we're one of the few that does put this amount of work into it. That's why cast members love us too. That's why so many cast members worked for MC Magic as a volunteer, because we would go that extra mile. Besides the fact that we trained all of our cast members using the Traditions training class model, there were just so many reasons, and that was one of them. Having backstage was a huge thing. For the guy that did the real Phantasmic, who helped us, and we found out how many fireworks they launched, because he came on and worked for us for a little bit. He ended up being not that great a person. But he at least came on and told us a lot about Phantasmic we didn't know about before. Not Phantasmic, Illuminations, that's what it was. So he was beneficial in that aspect, but yeah, you know, whatever. But he really liked that we actually put in the extra effort to do backstage stuff. And as well, he even built some of the backstage for Illuminations for us, so that we had the barges correct. That was the big thing. Again, I'm not going to give up names, just so you know. No, not going to happen. Magical things you couldn't do in real life, you could do on MC Magic. And that again, that was a goal. Look, I wished so much that we never had to have ranks on MC Magic. I think that was the day it ruined it for a lot of people. Ranks means money, means people acting conceited because they've got something that somebody else doesn't. I always wanted MC Magic to be equal for everybody to have an equal time, everybody to have an equal share, everybody to have the exact same experience, everybody being the same, and we just never could do that. Unfortunately, it costs money to run a server that size, especially as big as we got. I mean, the fact that over time, before I left, we reached over 1 million guests in 5 years is incredible. I don't know what Hypixel's done. And by the way, Hypixel was around for 4 years. We were around for 5. We were actually one of the longest running servers in Minecraft. I think the only one that I can remember other than us that has run that long was the Reddit servers that I used to be the administrator of when I originally created MC Magic, when it was MC Disney. Actually, even before it was MC Disney, it was just the castle, the train station, and a couple of other things. It's funny to think now, actually, how many times I've rebuilt this stupid train station over the years. But I've gotten it better every time. Oh, excuse me, every time. When I originally built it years ago, I didn't even build this stairwell right here. I just expected people to fly up to the second level. And these rooms here, none of this was created because this is where all the strollers and stuff are inside of here. Cash register here. None of this was built. It was just an empty shell of a building on the inside, with the exterior being all. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even brick. It was all. Where the heck is it? I want to find one of the blocks. It was these basically stone slabs. That was literally the whole building was made of stone slabs, from top to bottom. There was no differentiation in color or nothing on the very first train station I built. Nice, Mike. And so, yeah, that again, we would have celebrated 6 years this year. Technically, it still is 6 years because the servers themselves still do exist. So that is still technically it still exists. So I don't ever say that MC Magic's gone. Oh, you're working on the Harry Potter server, Brogan? Interesting. Well, and here's the thing. We were very specific about, I don't know where everybody got the idea. Maybe we used terminology in the past that said donations, but we tried very hard later on to basically be very specific that the money you're giving is not donations. You're essentially investing in the server and helping us continue the server, paying for the server, paying for our cast members to be able to go to the parks and get details from the parks, and paying for our cast to be able to go to events like conventions and all of that. And it's kind of like it goes back to the argument where these butthurt people attacked Gamer KM, the poor guy, because he went out and bought a lousy keyboard. I mean, he seriously got bullied out of the game over a lousy flipping keyboard that was an absolute 100% normal investment that any valid developer should be able to purchase with the money given to their server. But he got annihilated with negativity and hate because he went out and bought a keyboard. Well, MC Magic was going out and buying software, was going out and paying people's way to get into the parks, was paying bills, was paying all these different things. You know, my pass to get into Disney so that I could go in and take pictures whenever we needed them was absolutely paid for by the money we made at MC Magic, because it was a business expense. It was something that we needed to use to keep the business going, or to keep MC Magic going. And so I guess it's just people not understanding money, or people not understanding that where their money's going. Or let's just magically say, okay, all the money that was given to MC Magic was donations. Well, what do you expect now for us to do with donation money? Is it just supposed to sit in a giant pot to be utilized for nothing ever? Or do we utilize it to be able to make the server better and so on? You know, but they weren't. They weren't donations, and I think that people need to be very specific never to call it donations. You're not donating to the server. The reason people were using the word donation was to get around the Mojang licensing, because when the EULA stuff happened, you know, people like Hypixel were charging $1,000 for certain things or whatever. Maybe not Hypixel, but like Mindplex or whoever it was. They were charging like $1,000 packages. And so to get around that and to say that, you know, whatever, I guess it was donations was the word used. I didn't like that. Just didn't know. I never did, and I don't. It is not a donation. It is a donation goes to a charity. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be giving a donation, that's going to Red Cross or some really valid charity that's actually a non-profit. And that was the mistake that a lot of people made too, is they believed that because we were taking money and it was considered a donation for some reason, that we were therefore must be a non-profit, and how come you're not filing this and doing that? And it just got really, really confusing for a lot of people. Money is apparently very confusing for anybody that's not over the age of, 20. It was a big server, yeah, Brogan. But I'm just saying it was like one of them. It was a large server like them, and they were charging an exorbitant amount for their items. Well, to be fair, even Hypixel themselves had to lower their costs on a lot of things and then change a lot. they were making a lot of money, and then all of a sudden everything changed, and they had to change their entire model to fit the EULA. So yeah, it actually, I think it affected, initially it affected their bottom line, but they worked themselves back up again in the community, and well, both them and Mindplex have survived. I have no idea what I have on Hypixel. It's funny too because I know so many of the devs there, but I've never asked for any benefits of that. You know, I've always felt like it'd be kind of like a jerk move, even though I know them and they've helped. You know why? Actually, I'll tell you why. Because of how many times they helped MC Magic out in a pinch. The fact that our show plugin was created by the head developers at Mindplex, and then a lot of the technical support that we got regarding DDoS attacks and server related stuff was direct support from Hypixel when they would, you know, their developers would come over and help me out when I asked them to. Crates. Yeah, EA's in a lot of trouble for that right now. I think that's hilarious. Hey, look, there's a crate. And look, there's nothing in it. Alright, I really am kind of like exhausted now, guys. At this point, throw your questions up as quick as you can, and I'll try to get to them before I go to bed. I'm just like flying around here. I thought I was going to actually build a little bit tonight, but yeah, first time. Gotta reintroduce myself to everybody, I guess. Yep, just waiting on those last questions, you guys. Or comments or suggestions for upcoming videos, maybe. That wouldn't be a bad thing if you guys want to see something specific. Maybe a certain build or a certain way of building, certain piece of history. Here you go. Let's, since you're all sitting there right now, you get a little sneak peek at this. So if I go to my 3 terabyte drive, it's ridiculous how much stuff I have on here. Actually, there we go. MC Magic, where are you at? Wow, I am so tired I can't even see that MC Magic is right there up top. Look at the size of this folder, guys. Look at that, seriously. 339.2 gigabytes of stuff over the years. And then of that, only 181 is from the servers themselves. Like, so, yeah. And then pictures and videos. So all the times that I went to Disney to take pictures, oh my god, or downloaded YouTube videos like right here. If I go to, then I've got Photoshop, just that. Actually, I'm surprised that isn't bigger, just in that alone. YouTube, oh man, Brogan's in these. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, there's Grail and Corey and Ant Venom and Caveman Films and Brogan right next to him rather. That's us at the Disney store, and that's Sam's mom there on the left. We all went to Disney store in New York City. But yeah, look at all this history. That we all went to New York, for God's sake. And so we helped run what was called U-Cubed. That's Ant Venom and Caveman Films, with Darth, Corey, and Grail all watching them play Mario Kart in the middle of the Nintendo store in downtown New York City. But we all went to U-Cube, which was an event for, wow, those are some great pictures right there. Look at that focus. This event right here, which was a convention for kids that lost out on a convention called Minorama. They got screwed out of that. Oh, look, there's my, yeah, anyway. There was, okay. Is that, oh, no, here we go. The Minorama VIPs, yeah, that was our original list when Lou had screwed it. Anyway, so this is just one of the many folders I have on here. Promotional materials for MC Magic. Yeah, there we go. Is that actually going to run? Yeah, it is. That was a banner I created years ago that I don't think we even used, except maybe on Planet Minecraft. I think we might have used it. Anyway, so like just, yeah, promotional folder. We have Minecon 2013. But yeah, so each of the parks, just Magic Kingdom is 27.66 gigs worth of photos. Hollywood Studios, Yeah, this folder, just the website. So all the my MC Magic stuff when we originally created it, all that is 10 gigs there. I guess saves is world saves. I think that's what this is, which actually is a good thing because I need to find. Yeah, I need to find some worlds. Oh yeah, look at that. That's actually Orlando in 1941. Somebody actually built that in Minecraft. Security issues is all the issues we have with DDoSing over the years. Disney careers. This one I love. These are all the real documents, all the real videos. This was actually a full copy. So I don't know how Disney allowed it, but they left their Disney careers website open. And all of this, like, just look at this. Like, all the documents. Is it going to load? Is it going to take some time? Yeah, it's taking forever. Okay, so this isn't that much. Disney Career Reference Guide. Is it going to load either? It's taking a long time. I thought there's some PDFs. Let's go to that one because that'll load really quick. So, 2010 report on citizenship for Disney. Castaway K, which is Know Before You Go. I think this is for people that get jobs at with the Disney Cruise Line Castaway K. Like all of this is all the documents, like the onboarding stuff, all the original hire stuff, all of the here's some of the college program stuff for 2012 internships, the program guide, like all the stuff that new hires would have gone through. Disney left this folder open years ago, and I got access to it and grabbed everything I could. And that's 6 point something gigs, 6.19 gigs. Totaling, let's see how many pictures, videos, everything else. Total number of files in that folder, 6,350. 6,350 different documents, videos, and so on. Like, I don't know if you can hear video right now, but let's see. Disney DBC call center associate, like I think this is a video on like telling you how to do the job or whatever. Like, let's just.
And I create magic for our members by making sure they feel at home even before they go on their vacation.
So yeah, that's literally like the video. You know how like you get a new job and they like show you a video? I've got all of them. Like
different disciplines, pioneering new forms of entertainment and taking you to magical places.
And then yeah, I've got a lot of stuff. So you can see I've been steeped in the Disney culture for a long time. Just to have that folder alone, not to mention 115 gigs worth of pictures and videos of the parks and everything. Yeah. Thanks, Yogs. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out so far. I'm interested to see if people are going to follow along as I stream some of this later. When I start to create the 3D objects, I think they're really going to be interested. Let's see if that give you guys an idea of, was it under Disney? Yeah, should be. Where you go? There it is. Nope, not that. It should be this. No, not that. I want to say this is it. This is the app that I use to create all the 3D objects. Oh, it's going to take forever to load. Actually, I'm going to close my game since this is also a Java thing. And close. It's literally this simple. So let's import my JSON, which is under Minecraft. And then we want to go to resource packs, new Disney, assets, Minecraft, and then we want to go, is it models? Yeah, and then block, and then very damaged anvil. Let's do that one. Ta-da! And so that's what I can do. This is what I use to create my 3D objects. And so I try to name everything so that I can see what they are. I can move them around. So you there. So I can move things around, and I can move them around at a block at a time. That's here. Let me just. Here we go. I want to zoom into that one block that we were just looking at. So this is the one that I'm moving right here, and then if I hold down Shift, I can move it just that much too. So I can actually be very granular about the way that I build these 3D items. I mean, as you see here, this is all the different, so the different Mickey heads, all 4 of them. The finger readers, all 4 of those, which are right here. The gold scan heads, let me see where that, oh, that's the inset. So that's that piece right there. Right there. And there's 4 of those. There's 4 scan heads. Scan base, finger base, bottom bar reader, bottom pole, feet, yeah, and so on. But that's just for that alone. When I get into building the monorail or the train for the railroad, oh my God, those are going to be massive. Like, I'm going to have to be zoomed out like that in order to get all the detail in one screen, because that's just the readers when you walk into the gate, when you saw it earlier. But that's the application I'm going to use for creating all the 3D stuff. That'll be fun. All right, thanks, Brogan. Good to see you. Talk to you. Yeah, cyanotype. I'm not really into. I don't know if maybe the one you're talking about is. Let's just look it up real quick. I don't like granular. I like simple. I'm an old man, and I'm set in my ways. No, I'm just old, and I'm not really into like. I'm not here to do 3D modeling. Like, that to me is the most 3D modeling I'll ever get into. Let me look at this and see, though, if it's something that I'd be interested in. Okay, I got to give it credit. It at least is set up a little bit better in that I can actually do what I guess is considered... it's kind of like in Photoshop where I can do layers. I do like that. That I can see these individual items and I can name them a little bit easier. Okay, darn it. You may actually have found a winner here. I was worried because a lot of them are like, oh, well, you just import and export to this and that, and it's a 3D block and this, whatever the 3D imaging program people use is, what's the Google one? I think I actually have it on my computer. It'll remind me if I see it on here. SketchUp. Like, the thing that I can't, SketchUp annoys me because it's just, there's so many different little things you can go wrong with that thing. Whereas with this, like I just showed you a minute ago, I mean, I could just zoom in and out of that other one. I'm wondering if this is about the same. This looks about the same. Let me try it, by the way. Is it download? Oh, wow, there's a Mac version versus... I would have thought it would be a jar version. Oh, wait, I gotta go... Yeah. Sorry, I help a guy with his bed and breakfast, and I've got to go do that tomorrow. That's what that reminder is. It just popped up. Well, Cyanotype, thank you, because I had not known about this, so I'll try this out tomorrow, maybe. That's interesting too. So I guess this is, I can click on an item, I can move the item, and I can paint on the item. So yeah, I'll check it out tomorrow. Tonight's not the night. I'm so tired. I'll leave this page up though in my tabs. I appreciate that. No, honestly, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Thank you. That'll be awesome to, if it makes it easier, then I'm all for it. Yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll try that out tomorrow. Excuse me. I am exhausted. It's been a long day anyway. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the first of many streams. I was really hoping to see, quite a few people show up, and they did. So awesome. It'll be interesting to see how well this keeps up later on. Hey, look, Inception. I definitely want your comments and suggestions down below. Obviously, click like on the video if you enjoyed it today. That really helps me a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. That way you get notified when I come back on later. So, like I said, I will be doing these again, and I really appreciate you guys joining along with me. So, thank you very much. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.